Welcome to Platinum Eagle Podcast, and I'm your host, Platinum Eagle. Thank you so much for tuning in once again. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. I certainly appreciate that. Get me up in them algorithms. Get me up in them algorithms, y'all. This is a great one right here. It was an exciting matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Commanders in the NFC Championship game. It was great from an Eagles perspective. It wasn't so great from a Commander's perspective, but it had to be kind of rocky for somebody and better them than us, right? Fly, Eagles, fly. Fly, Eagles, fly. Fly, Eagles, fly. We going to the Super Bowl, and this time to win it. You better know it, baby. Inshallah, we going to get this one here. We got to go and unpack a few things. So I'm going to get right into it, all right? The Philadelphia Eagles offense. Well, first, let me start with the defense. The Commanders came out pretty tough. 3 first downs on third downs conversions, 2 fourth down conversions, and they kicked the field goal for the fourth down they had in the red zone. So they got 3, we had 0. So after the Washington Commanders ended up kicking a field goal, getting the first 3 points on the board, that'd be the last time they had the lead in the game. But they kicked the ball off, and the Philadelphia Eagles ended up getting the ball, and none other than a rookie returned it. You got it, Will Shipley. He ended up getting it to the 40-yard line for us. And boy, Saquon Barkley took it from there. It was a house call. Somebody call him? Somebody call Saquon Barkley? I think somebody called him from the house. The Philadelphia Eagles fans was in a frenzy from the opener, from scrimmage. The Philadelphia Eagles started off strong to set the tone for what the game was going to be from then on. Defense, you'd have thought they set the tone, but the first drive, usually a lot of times, Vic Fangio will see how they kind of playing, the offense is kind of playing against them, and they adjusted. And boy, did they adjust. Because the second possession of the Washington Commanders looked like it was promising as well. They would mosey on down the field for what it looked like was going to be another score. But nah, it wasn't going to be another score because it was a punch out. Punch out by none other than Zach Bond. And who ended up landing on the ball? Reed Blankenship. These guys work in a tandem. The Philadelphia Eagles defense is gritty. They grimy. They ball. You know what I'm saying? Oh, before I even get into the defense so much, I want to talk about Landon Dickerson. Landon Dickerson filling in for injured Cam Jurgens. Cam Jurgens, a monster. Boy, injured. He was injured too. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't going to play the game, I'm sure. But Landon Dickerson ended up injuring his leg, had to step out, and in come Cam Jurgens, and Cam Jurgens did the rest as well. Played through his back pains. He had a back injury. He played through it. Didn't practice most of the week. I don't think he practiced at all the week. If he did practice, it was like later on in the week. In the early part of the week of last week, Cam Jurgens didn't practice at all. Cam Jurgens is a monster. And Cam Jurgens is like 2.0 to Jason Kelce. Jason Kelce was pretty much the guy who handpicked him. So you can ask for no more than a tough guy like that there. I mean, he was gritty. He was grimy. You wouldn't even see any injury to Cam Jurgens until you seen him walking off into the end of the game. He was in pain. He was in obvious pain. Even bending over in the locker room, I heard, to pretty much kind of limit the pain as much as possible. He was grimacing in pain, I heard, that was reported. So Will Shipley played a heck of a game. How about that rookie, though? You know what I'm saying? He got a little bit of action. Like I said, we'll talk about that a little bit later. But for right now, let's talk about Jalen Hurts. They talk crazy about Jalen Hurts. Everybody talk crazy about Jalen Hurts. I'm going to keep it a bean. I always said that I think the brother's a winner. My man is a winner. And if you hate a winner, I thought everybody loved a winner. But I guess you got to be a certain team, a certain franchise to be loved as a winner, or certain franchises, but not the Philadelphia Eagles. And like the saying goes, nobody like us, but we don't care. And we really don't care. I mean, I know I don't. You know what I'm saying? And I don't care about some of the so-called Eagles fans. There's a lot of chirping on that direction as well. But I'm not even going to waste no time about them. As far as I'm concerned, they are a waste of time to even talk about. So I won't talk about them too much unless we win the Super Bowl, inshallah. And we win the Super Bowl, inshallah, in about a week and a half from now. Then I'll go ahead and say what I want to say about them so-called Philadelphia Eagles fans as well. And I know it's probably not a good idea to go and bash some of the people that probably would be, a part of my podcast or my success in the podcast, but I'm going to keep it 100% funky with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like me, I love to talk about football. So even if I got 1 million subscribers or 100 subscribers, I'm going to keep it a bean. I'm going to stay true to what I do. So they like it, and I appreciate it. If they don't, you know what I'm saying, I got words for them, but I ain't going to use them on this podcast. So it is what it is. Jalen Hurts threw about 28 times. I think he only missed like 7, so I think 20 for 28, 21 for 28, 246 yards, run for 3 touchdowns. One of the touchdowns was a draw, 9-yard run to the end zone, and the other 2 was the brotherly shoves, and they almost automatic. And speaking of brotherly shove, I'm gonna pause for a second and get back to Jalen Hurts. What about my boy Frankie Louvu? Frankie Louvu is one of them ones. I ain't gonna lie. He's dirty though. He a dirty player. You know what I'm saying? But he's one of them ones. He jumped over the line a couple times, which I don't have in this video here, but he jumped over the line a couple times. And I also looked like he was throwing an elbow at Jalen Hurts' head while he was jumping over the line. You know, all of it was for naught for that team because they end up getting penalized all the time. I think it was 3 times they ended up getting penalized. And if it was warned, if they got penalized one more time, then there will be free points. That was a part of the game, part of the rules I didn't even know anything about. So you kind of learn a little bit new stuff every day. And it was cool to know that because I always thought that they just keep trying. But I guess because other things have to go on, the broadcasting system got to keep moving. That machine got to keep moving. So anyway, they were threatened to be penalized and give us a free touchdown if they was to do it again, and they got it together. But it didn't matter. It was the imminent was going to happen, and the imminent thing was going to happen was we was going to score anyway, and we did. This game was really good. It was so much to unpack in this game, so bear with me. We're going to get to it all. We're going to get to as much as possible anyway. And pretty much start next season, I'm going to do another segment, like I said in the last video, and also I plan on coming up with more videos than just 1 or 2 a week. I plan on doing it probably like, I don't know, once every other day or something like that to just keep everybody in tune. I want to make sure it's a situation where I'm always kind of like on the back of y'all minds in a sense, you know what I'm saying? But trust me, I am going to put in work this off season just for y'all, just for people like myself who love to hear about Philadelphia Eagles news content. I think I'm your guy. In fact, I know I'm your guy. Speaking of Jalen Hurts, I'm all over the place. I had some notes and all that stuff, but I'm freestyling because I made a video yesterday and I ain't like it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't like it. So I got to redo it and make another one today. But anyway, the defensive coach for the Washington Commanders, Joe Jr., he has some choice words for Jalen Hurts. I'm going to have y'all listen to this real quick and tell me what y'all think if y'all haven't heard it already.
How is your week different when you're preparing for a quarterback who can use his legs in the run game as opposed to a quarterback who stays in the pocket more?
Well, you know, we've had a number of these guys that we've had to prepare for, and so the one thing is if he's going to run the ball and if the coordinator makes a decision for him to run the ball, we're going to treat him like a running back, and we're going to hit him that way. You know, so that's their decision if they want to get him hit the way that he gets hit. If they don't, they'll keep him in the pocket. So, but that's what we're going to do.
Bro, I got a question for you now. Now that you're in Cancun with the umbrella straw in your drink, you know what I'm saying, kind of living it up for a minute and pretty much rethinking about what you had this season or what you should have wanted to accomplish, should have known better anyway to come to Philadelphia Eagles with all that craziness. But we Philly strong, man. We don't take your idle threats, man. We ain't worried about your threats. What you thought you was going to scare Hurts? Hurts still ran on y'all. Like I said, a 9-yard touchdown, and he still ran when he had to run. He didn't run a whole lot. He threw. Like I said, got 246 yards, 28 attempts. I mean, he wasn't scared of y'all. Like I said, this brother here, everything under the sun by the national media and now the likes of you, and he just do what he do and ball out. So don't like them idle threats, man. We ain't about that, man. Like I said, for real, we ain't doing that, man. Try somebody else, not the Philadelphia Eagles. And you got your hat handed to you. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see you next year if you're there still, inshallah. A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith had pretty modest games. Well, Devontae Smith had a modest game. I think he had 46 yards or something like that. A.J. Brown had 96 yards. So A.J. Brown had a pretty good day. Not to take anything from Smitty, because when he had the opportunities, he cashed in on them. He got some crucial first downs for us, and so did A.J. Brown. But how about that fourth down? Fourth down. My boy A.J. Brown came through clutch on a fourth down. And I was like, we cannot drop it on fourth down. I was nervous. I ain't gonna lie, because, like I said, I'm nervous against anybody who we play against. You just know that anytime a team can get beat, and you just hope that the Philadelphia Eagles play our brand of football. When we play our brand of football, not only is it hard to beat the team, the Philadelphia Eagles, man, it's almost impossible. Like I said, we got so many weapons. But back to Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. The wide receivers came clutch. I wish that they got Jahan Dotson somehow in the game plan. They have been going to him a little bit in the playoffs and at the end of the season. I'd like to see him a lot more. And hopefully in the offseason, because we got him for another couple of years, we should be able to implement him somewhat in the game plan a lot more than we have now. Saquon freaking Barkley. We'll talk about my man in a minute. Pause. But A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, they did what they had to do on the offensive side of the ball. You know what I'm saying? The offense was pretty much best I've seen all season, if I'm being honest. Yeah, the Steelers game could rival that one, but this game against the Washington Commanders, I'm telling you, there was no stopping us. There was no stopping us. We had it in our head from what happened last time, and ain't no way in the world with A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Jalen Hurts, Dallas Goedert, of course Saquon Barkley, that they was going to even have a chance, man. They was going to have a chance. The reason why they got a chance last time, and they know it, and we showed it this time, was because Jalen Hurts got hit with a dirty hit. I know I said it wasn't dirty before, but I thought about it and looked at it a couple times, and yeah, it was unnecessary. I'm not going to say it was dirty, but it was certainly unnecessary. But again, they got Jalen Hurts out the game, and when they got Jalen Hurts out the game, that was pretty much their ticket to success. And we almost still beat them because, like I said, we was a drop away from Devontae Smith and a couple other guys, too. It wasn't just him by himself, but at the end of the game, we had a chance to win that game with Kenny Pickett in the game. So, say what you will, the Commanders had to get done with. They had to get dealt with. You know what I'm saying? But what you do when somebody come in your house and get chippy? Because they got chippy. They was chippy from start. What you do when they get chippy? You put BTA. Y'all know what it is. BTA. Saquon Barkley, though. Man, Saquon Barkley did it again. Again, I told you about the house call. He made a house call as soon as he got the ball. The second time he would touch the ball was a 4-yard touchdown. This is the second time he touched the ball. So 1 touchdown, 2 touchdowns. It wasn't like that every time he touched the ball, obviously. And he only got about 10 snaps in the first half. So they could have used him a little bit more. But it didn't matter because I'm telling you, Jalen Hurts was in his bag. The offense was in a bag. Goddard was in his bag. But Saquon Barkley, man, I'm telling you, he is a gem. He was a gem for this franchise. And ain't no denying it. There's really no denying it. The Philadelphia Eagles and the Philadelphia Eagles fans, like I said in the last video, we probably would be somewhat mid, probably a little bit better, give or take. Probably not take, but give. You know what I'm saying? Because we did it without him before. So we showed that we can actually win games and go to a Super Bowl without Saquon Barkley. But boy, we didn't have a Saquon Barkley when we went the first time. And especially playing at this level right here. And of course, the Chiefs, they have a hard time kind of stopping the run. And their defense is not as good as they were 2 years ago. I know a lot of people don't know that, but guess what? Why you think they've been looking like they've been looking this season? Because they got rid of a couple guys on defense. And yes, Patrick Mahomes could do a lot of things. But when it comes to that defense, speaking of defense, Jordan Davis, amazing. You can clog that middle up so you can stop the run really well. He only played like 13 snaps, but they were 13 gritty snaps. They were gritty football. That's what the Philadelphia Eagles do. We play gritty football. We impose our will. And that's why I believe we're going to be hoisting that Lombardi trophy yet again in New Orleans. But Jordan Davis, man, I'm glad he's on our team. I don't believe that it will cost a lot to keep him on our team after the season because of his lack of play. He might turn up after he gets his contract. He's still going to get a good bag no matter what. He's still going to get a really good bag. So, that's things we'll talk about in the offseason. Dallas Goedert. My brother, Dallas Goedert, man, he's definitely missed when we don't have him in the lineup. He's been injured quite a bit this season. I think it was 3 times he was injured this season. You know what I'm saying? But first downs, no problem. He got very close to getting a touchdown on that big bomb that was thrown by Jalen Hurts straight to him. He beat his defender. Dallas Goedert was about, 7 to 8 yards or so away from getting a touchdown. Saquon Barkley had a hat trick. You know what I'm saying? 3 tutties in the same game. In the playoffs, his numbers is through the roof this year. We got 7 rushing touchdowns in his game. 1 game in the playoff, 7 rushing touchdowns. We was unstoppable this game. And I'm hoping and praying we're unstoppable in the next game we play against our foes now. I don't look at them as a hated team, nothing like that. They did get us, and we got to get some get back. Kind of like when the Patriots got us in 2004, 2005, and we had to get some get back. You know what I'm saying? We played them again the next time in the Super Bowl. This is our golden years. This is the Philadelphia Eagles' golden years because We got guys under contract that's real good. We got to get a few more under contract, but we got some real good guys under contract. And Howie's been nailing the draft, so if he keep nailing the draft and we keep getting pretty good signings, this year we gonna be around for a while. We gonna be a problem. Y'all gonna have to give it credit what credit is due. But I don't need nobody's credit. What I need for real is us to win the Super Bowl coming up. Nolan Smith was sacked Jaden Daniels. I think he was sacking him on a 4th down, if I'm not mistaken. This is different than when we played him the last time on a 4th down. We couldn't get him because he 4th and 11. Remember, we couldn't stop him. Jaden Daniels was unstoppable. We made him look like a rookie again because that's what he is. He's good. I'm not going to front. The Washington Commanders, they pretty good. They just not us right now. You know what I'm saying? And they got some pretty good cap money, $100 million in cap space. They got some pretty good draft picks, one from us as well for Jahan Dotson this season as well. So they should be in a pretty good place pretty soon to compete. They already competing, but right now, this ain't y'all time. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully it ain't no time that y'all going to have at least while the Philadelphia Eagles got something to say about it. If we ain't in it, I still don't want y'all to win, of course, because y'all ain't going to want us to win. So it's a division rival. And a rivalry, you don't go for your rival. I don't know why people even do that. I hear some people say, oh yeah, I'm a Cowboys fan, but I'm going for the Eagles. I appreciate it, but you better than me because I can't do that for y'all. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? I just can't do it because y'all talk too much when y'all are doing a little bit of, damage. I ain't really did a whole lot of damage since 1996. Nolan Smith is coming of age, though. I mean, my man he's all over the field, man. He's doing things that I didn't believe that he might be doing, and I would only hope that he would do this season. And the defense, going back to the first drive, Dan Quinn, when he was going for the 4th down, he acted like he fake punted. And he ended up going for it. And before it happened, I know a lot of Eagles fans said that he saw it and they thought it was going to happen like that. But this guy here, I already knew that he was going to play. I said before he even did, I said, man, we got to watch Dan Quinn. I told my family that. I said, we got to watch Dan Quinn because he played too much. And guess what? He played. He got 26 yards out. Quinyon Mitchell would get a pick, his second pick of the postseason, his second pick of the season. Both picks came in the postseason, one against the Packers and one against Commanders. But that rookie right there got promising future. All Quinyon Mitchell got to do from here on is just go to work and learn, get better and better. He's a rookie. He's showing a lot of promise. That's my guy right there. You know what I'm saying? Fly, Eagles, fly. That's my guy right there. You know what I'm saying? Dan Quinn had him practicing the whole team with the Fly, Eagles, fly chant. I guess they had an epiphany. I guess they knew something that we knew already. Because we only actually throw that chant together when we actually scored a touchdown or when a game's out of hand, you'll hear it unbearably. There was some people at the game said that's all they heard. In fact, there was a Commanders fan singing a chant. We heard this song so much at the game, a Commanders fan was singing a chant. You know what I'm saying? It was a female. She was like, I can't help it. It's catchy. You know what I'm saying? And she had her... Commander's gear on it. I thought that was so funny, man. I don't know if y'all saw that, but it was crazy. Dan Quinn would have him practicing with that chant. Of course, we scored 8 times, I believe, total. So, of course, like I said, we chant that every time we score a touchdown. So, not only did they hear it a whole lot in practice, they heard it a whole lot during the game. But I'd rather hear that chant as much as possible because that means we're doing some good things on the field. The defense and special teams played special as well because, well, minus the Jake Elliott missed kick, and we'll talk about that briefly because I'm tired of talking about Jake Elliott every week. Will Shipley, the rookie, who got a touchdown, we'll talk about it in a second, cracked the ball carrier. The ball came out, they've been practicing punching the ball out all season long. I think our opposing team turned the ball over to us 10 times, 11 times in the whole playoffs. That's crazy. That's a high clip. 27 turnovers since the bye. That's different. Boy, that's different. That's a winning formula. If we keep this winning formula up going to KC, it's going to be a massacre. You know what I mean? But Shipley popped the ball out, and who was there to pick it up for us? The other running back, the second running back, Kenny Gainwell. And I know y'all be crapping on Kenny Gainwell, who went out with a concussion. Prayers up for Kenny Gainwell. I'm sure, inshallah, he'll be back for the game of the Super Bowl, the big game. So I'm hoping to see him there, and I'm hoping that he played at a high level. In fact, he played at a high level at the last playoffs we had He played better than Miles Sanders anyway. You can argue that. I hope we get him back, and I hope it's a speedy recovery for Kenny Gainwell because we definitely going to need him going forward. Like I said, he's not Barkley, but he does amazing things. Even one time when he flipped, I don't have the video for this right here, but even one time when he flipped trying to get the first down, he put his body on the line to get the first down. He came up short, but he did put his body on the line to get the first down. But it didn't matter. We ended up scoring anyway. Pretty much that's what it was. So I'm not overconfident, but I am very confident that the Philadelphia Eagles will be hoisting that Lombardi Trophy at the end of this year. Yeah, everybody else might be scared of Patrick Mahomes, but they got to stop Saquon Barkley first. And I don't think their secondary can stop Jalen Hurts from throwing and having his way out there. Will Shipley, though, he would also run for a touchdown. The first time he was running, I don't know if he was rushing for a touchdown and thought, because he got closer to the end zone, and I don't know if he ran out of gas or he said, okay, well, I don't want to make sure the ball just don't come out, and I don't know if I got to go down because we want to run a timeout and not give them the ball back. Not that it mattered, but he ended up getting caught up, but it didn't matter. He ended up finishing the drive off with a touchdown on the next play, or if it wasn't the next play, it was a couple plays later. And, when I'm watching the game a lot of times, I'm focused on what happens. I'm kind of like in a daze in a sense, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I don't take notes, I don't remember what happens like everybody else do, you know what I'm saying? I'm just satisfied with the dub. That's all I'm usually looking for is the dub. Of course, I got to report it, but Will Shipley, he showed very great promise for a rookie. We had a dynamic year in the draft. You know what I'm saying? This draft was crazy. Again, Zach Bond was an acquisition, not in the draft. He's a veteran, but Zach Bond, like I said, punching the ball out. That's what he do, intercepting the ball when he get a chance to intercept the ball. We got to get that guy on lockdown. We got to get him in a contract and keep him as a Philadelphia Eagle, perhaps even retiring as a Philadelphia Eagle. I'm here for it as long as he's playing on a high level for years to come. Jaden Daniels almost threw at least 2 more picks. One to Slay, who we bobbled it up a little bit, trying to bobble it to itself. He couldn't catch it. It didn't matter. We still handled our business. Defense played a real strong, gritty game all 60 minutes and was ready for some more if necessary. I was worried about them after the first drive, though, because they came out, they held them to 3 points, like I said before, and the rush by Saquon Barkley was so quick, I'm thinking they gassed. They got to get back on the field. Slay said they was gassed. And, of course, I figured they would have been, but he said they was ready for the moment, and boy, were they. But I thought I was a little worried about them because we scored too fast, which ain't no such thing, I guess. We scored, right? That's the key words. So we scored real fast, ended up giving the ball back to the Commanders, and we ended up taking the ball back out because of a punch, like I said, by Zach Bond. Namdi Brown kept letting the ball drop out of his hands. The Commanders, they had a really good run. I ain't gonna knock them. I ain't gonna lie. They did more than the Cowboys did in about 30 years with just 1 year with a rookie. Man, you got to be proud of them, even though you still hate them. The franchise, not the people, of course. Like I always say, I have no smoke for the people. I just don't like the franchise. Going back to A.J. Brown, he was sunning Sam Russell, whatever his name is. He was sunning him. And not only him, my man Smitty got a piece of action too. He was sunning them too. You know what I mean? Smitty was doing his thing against them. There was nothing they could do to stop him. We already knew that Marshawn Lattimore was going to have a problem stopping A.J. Brown, but he had a problem stopping A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. Boy, them boys, they was cooking. Lattimore, like I said before in my earlier videos, if y'all watching, y'all keeping up, you already know what I said when they got Lattimore in trade, before the trade deadline, the Washington Commanders did, that it didn't really matter. Lattimore, I think his best years was behind him. 2017, 2018, 2019, I think those was his best years. I think even maybe 2020, he had a pretty good year. And after that, he hasn't really had too many great years. But referees, man, you know how I feel about the referees. I'm hoping and praying that they just call a fair game. You know what I'm saying? I'm hoping we play real sound ball and, pretty much limit the penalties as much as possible when we play the Chiefs. But it's hard beating a team like the Chiefs by itself. And then you got the referees. It's sickening to watch, man. I know y'all know what I'm talking about, unless you're a KC fan. But even if I was a KC fan, I would be able to keep it a buck and say that, they be cheating for us, but I'll take it. Whatever, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to act like it ain't happening, because that's what they be trying to do, acting like it ain't happening. Why everybody whining about the refs? Why everybody whining about the refs? They know why, you know what I'm saying? Because if it was the shoe was on the other foot and the referee was cheating against them, they would be whining about the refs. So shut it all down, bro. Sidney Brown and Ringo was in for a stop as well. Frankie Louvu for the Commanders, he was a little bit overzealous. He was trying to rush and trying to time the snap by the Philadelphia Eagles just in time, and a couple times he did. He got a couple sacks on Jalen Hurts by doing that. I know this picture don't really show you what happened. You got to actually watch the game. He was actually running before the play was actually in motion, before the ball was snapped, and he ended up getting to Jalen Hurts a couple times. It would have happened one time if I was the coach, because if I seen him do that one time, I'd have said, okay, look out for him. If he try to rush it like that again before the ball snap, hold off. Center, hold off. Don't hike the ball. Let him run off sides, and we'll go ahead and get 5 yards or a first down, whichever one. But it would only happen to me one time. You know what I'm saying? But Frankie Louvu, pretty dirty player, but he's pretty good. I'm not going to knock him and say that he's trash. You know what I'm saying? That was a great acquisition that they got from the Carolina Panthers this offseason. So we'll see them, I'm sure, pretty soon, sooner than later, but not this season, because we had to cut them off. I told you, we had to cut them off. We had to take them legs from up under them. They got far. And they did us a favor, even though I think we did it anyway, against the Detroit Lions. They went and beat the number 1 seed. We used the number 2 seed. So when they got rid of the Lions and they home, we ended up having a home field advantage from here on out, which was only one game against them, the Washington team. And when it came to the Philadelphia, that was the last thing they wanted to do. They probably thought to themselves, oh, we want to lose here. Oh, and speaking of our boy Joe, he was talking reckless, bro. He was talking mad greasy, yo. You know what I'm saying? And here, listen to this right here.
Let me tell you, I love playing. I love playing on the road. And I love playing here too, but there's not a better feeling, and Detroit had a great crowd, but to walk out of that place and it's quiet. That's the best feeling in the world, to go into somebody else's house and it's quiet. So if it's at home, if it's on the road, it doesn't matter. We're going to get down the way we get down, but we don't care about that. You know?
Well, you didn't come to Philadelphia and demoralize us. We actually took care of business. You know what I'm saying? I would have liked to have seen your face before you left, because you wanted to see the looks on their face. You want to silence the crowd. Nah, the crowd was everything but silent that night. You know what I'm saying? Nonetheless, shout out to him, I guess. Be a little bit more humble next time. It pays to be humble. And I'm humble right now as well. But at the same time, I got some energy, because I believe wholeheartedly, inshallah, the Philadelphia Eagles will be Super Bowl champions next time we play against our rival, now KC Chiefs. Sorry, Pops. The brotherly shove, as much as I love it, it was a situation where you should only use it when you have to. I don't agree with using a brotherly shove as much as we've been using it. And I know I'm not going to get too much into, you know what I'm saying, beating up Sirianni or the play caller for that play, because I do, like I said, I love the play. But when you got an injured Jalen Hurts, his leg was hurt before the game and during the game. You got Landon Dickerson, who was playing at center as a backup, leg already hurt. You got Cam Jurgens, whose back is ailing him. It's a taxing play to use that brotherly shove. So I don't understand why you wouldn't just run with Saquon Barkley sometimes. Take a load off the offensive lineman. You know what I'm saying? That play is very taxing. I'm glad that everybody came up unscathed and not injured. But, man, come on now. Sometimes just run the ball. You got Saquon. You ain't got no puny running back who's shifty. You got a star running back who don't mind contact and who don't mind putting it on the opposing players. So, you know what I'm saying? Run the ball, man. Run the ball and don't overcomplicate things. That's one knock I do have on Sirianni, although I'm very, very proud of him. I'm glad he's our coach, even though I was calling for his job earlier. He wins. Jalen Hurts wins. He's not a good play caller, so I'm not going to give him that credit. But he does win. He got his team ready and riled up and ready to play, and they love him. So why should I go against the grain? But one thing I have to say to knock him is he overcomplicate things a little bit too much sometimes. And instead of just, this game that we played, like the jet sweeps by Dallas Goedert, by Smitty, it was crazy, because last season and a little bit early this season, they didn't work for nothing. It was a Sirianni move. That was Sirianni. He loves those in around, jet sweeps. It worked really good this time here. I hope you don't get too cute with it and keep it going too much, because teams will key on it, and it does work a couple times. But don't overdo that as well. Is what I'm saying. That's just keep that. Use it when necessary. Use it when you can do what you got to do. Another play I haven't seen so much since Sirianni's been our coach was the running back pitch, the pitch to the running back. So it was the first play, from Saquon Barkley. He took it to the house, was 60 yards, was just what the doctor ordered. I think we did a little bit of it last week against the Rams. So, man, all I'm saying is KC gonna have their hands full with that guy. I'm so glad that he's like 100 and something yards from, I think 40 yards now, away from breaking the record of regular season and postseason rushing yards. That title, I think we can get it. But the main title I'm trying to get is the Philadelphia Eagles winning the Super Bowl championship once more in the city of brotherly love. Back to Quinyon Mitchell. He's stopping a 2-point conversion. That was clutch. Jaden Daniels would go for a 2-point conversion. Jaden Daniels, speaking of which, he would run it himself a couple times, getting some really good yards. One was for a touchdown, so he did score a touchdown in the game. Terry McLaurin had a really strong touchdown, but after the Jaden Daniels touchdown, they went for 2-point conversion to make the score 23-34, but that's all she wrote for those guys. Meanwhile, we keep climbing because, better yet, we keep flying because that's what the Philadelphia Eagles do. We was flying high that night, and we got one more win to get against our opposition. I won't rest until it's done. You know what I mean? I know I talked about it, but I want to go over it one more time. A.J. Brown's clutch 4th down catch. It was clutch. It was electric, actually. It was electric. You know what I mean? Because that could have went bad. Dallas Goedert, another one, like I said before, we talked about it. He was at the 8-yard line, 13-yard line, whatever. Man, it was right there. It was wide open for it. You know what I'm saying? And we just did what we had to do. We capitalized. We also played really physical football, and we was focused. We was assignment sound. And that's what I'm proud of, the Philadelphia Eagles overall in the whole game. Finishing up right now, I'm going to talk about Jake Elliott. Jake, I'm not going to talk that long. For real. You're not making me feel like you're part of the team. I don't want to lose no games, and so far we haven't lost a game because of you. Well, you can argue one, because we did miss one, but I ain't going to talk about that. That's old school. That's old stuff. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to talk about old stuff. Not right now, anyway. But Jake Elliott, man, I don't want to lose a game because of you. I'm proud of you for doing what you did for the Philadelphia Eagles for, I think, 7 or 8 years. Man, I think it's time to move on after this season. Some people say bring in some competition so he can have a little competition to fight against and compete against. But, man, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and really, what do you do? Because there's a lot of kickers in the league right now that's missing kicks left and right. Just kick your field goals, man. I'm scared even to watch the field goals at this point. Man, we need you to tighten up, all the way tighten up. I'm not expecting anymore. I came to the realization that Jake Elliott is just not going to be making long field goals and sometimes short field goals and sometimes point after. So I'm hoping he don't miss one in this next game that costs us the game. I'm really hoping that he don't do that because as of right now, I'm seeing this between the ears and he's just not getting it together. But I thank you so much for watching Platinum Eagle Podcast. I am your host, once again, Platinum Eagle, and I thank you so much for rocking with me. Tune in. We're going to get some more content coming your way. And I hope y'all having a real good day. I hope Allah's blessing you like he's blessing me. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. It's Fly Eagles Fly. Fly Eagles Fly. Fly Eagles Fly. For the real down-home Eagles fans, I'm going to do this for y'all, okay? If y'all not an Eagles fan, y'all might want to turn it from this right here. But I advise you not to. It's a good song. Fly, Eagles, fly on a road to victory. Fly, Eagles, fly. Score a touchdown, 1, 2, 3. Hit 'em low, hit 'em high, and watch our Eagles fly. Fly, Eagles, fly on a road to victory. E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles! Final score, 55 burger to 23. You know what I'm saying? The Philadelphia Eagles are going back to the Super Bowl. And this time, like I said before, inshallah, we gonna win it. That's my show. Talk to y'all later. Love y'all.